This is the outline of my presentation. First, I'd like to talk about introduction. Next, I'd like to talk about what kind of planet Mars is. Third, how we terraform Mars. Fourth, the relationship between the Earth and Mars. And finally, conclusion. Nowadays, many people, including me, have interest in universe. A lot of movies and comics about the universe are produced like this. Space development has been improved since the early 19th century. Finally, in 1969, humans could land on the moon. Well, what is the next planet which humans can land on in the near future? I think that is Mars. So today, I'd like to talk about Mars, an interesting topic among researchers about it. First, I'd like to explain you what kind of planet Mars is. As some people know, Mars had the sea like the Earth 4,300 million years ago, but now there is only huge dry ice on the north and the south pole. Mars' rotation period is about 24 hours, so it's almost same as the Earth. However, its revolution period is 687 days. Mars' equatorial radius is half of the Earth's equatorial radius. Surprisingly, Mars has 4 seasons. The average temperature of Mars is minus 55 degrees Celsius, and the air pressure is only 750 Pascal. Besides, gravity of Mars is 3 times as small as the Earth's gravity. In recent years, many astronomers are researching about this planet. Among a lot of researches and investigations, terraforming is one of the most remarkable topics. In fact, the name of terraformers comes from terraforming. So, what is the meaning of terraforming? Terraforming is a technology to change the environment of the planet to be similar to the environment of the Earth. Actually, this idea was announced in the 1960s for the first time. At that time, terraforming couldn't come true because scientists didn't have enough technology and knowledge. However, Dr. Chris Mackey, the scientist of NASA majoring in terraforming, says we can make terraforming come true in the near future by present technology. So next, I'd like to explain you how we terraform Mars. In 2035, humans will be able to land on Mars. Then, they will construct a lot of factories which produce octafluoropropane. This gas, octafluoropropane, is classified super greenhouse gas. Please look at this graph. This graph shows the comparison between octafluoropropane and carbon dioxide. As you know, carbon dioxide is famous for greenhouse gas, but octafluoropropane is 20,000 times as strong as carbon dioxide, and it is completely harmless. Fortunately, the materials of octafluoropropane, carbon and toluene, can be obtained on Mars. So they can produce octafluoropropane very easily like this. Due to this gas, the temperature of Mars will increase rapidly. In 2055, 20 years later from the beginning of terraforming, the Mars will be covered with octafluoropropane, and the temperature will increase. It will be minus 35 degrees Celsius. A lot of ice on Mars will start melting on the equator, like this. In 2105, 70 years later from the beginning of terraforming, a lot of mosses will be planted from the Earth to Mars because they have strong hold on life. After that, alpine plants and bees will be brought. In 2135, 100 years later from the beginning of terraforming, glass field will be formed and the average temperature will be 5 degrees Celsius. Most of aciculus trees are able to survive. Then, this is the end of terraforming. However, terraforming is not so easy. There is a big problem. It's too far from the Earth to Mars So it's impossible to send resources from the Earth to Mars frequently. Then, that's where bacteria's power comes in. Dr. Chris Mackey says, synthetic biology can solve this problem, and it can support astronauts on Mars. So what is synthetic biology? Synthetic biology is a biology that especially deals with artificially designed organisms. His laboratory is researching about the bacteria which will be sent into Mars for terraforming. These are examples. The bacteria, which has a DNA of spider, can produce very strong fiber. Using them, spacesuits can be produced. There is another bacteria which can produce bricks from the sun on Mars. Using them, astronauts can construct a lot of buildings on Mars. Besides, Annabella can produce a lot of sugar for food. In this way, bacteria can support us in even severe environment and make terraforming forward smoothly. Next, I'd like to explain you the relationship between the Earth and Mars. After finishing terraforming, the relationship between them will be dramatically changed in 2 points. In my opinion, first, I think the name of Mars will be renamed. Second, many people will go back and forth between the Earth and Mars very quickly using new space vehicle like this. I think it will take only 1 month or less than 1 month. Many tourists from the Earth will visit Mars, and Mars will be one of the most famous sightseeing sites all over the world. In conclusion, terraforming will come true in the future. However, it will take 100 years to finish terraforming and have some problem. I cannot live for such a long time, but if I can, I want to land on Mars someday. Nowadays, the environment of the Earth is getting worse and worse. Immigration to Mars is a great idea, but please remember, improving our environment is also very important. These are my references. Thank you for attention.
Thank you for your nice presentation. I'd like to invite comments or questions and then your question.
Did you watch a movie of Terraformers in this spring?
Not yet, but I watched Odyssey. Do you know?
No.
Yeah, I recommend you that movie.
Thank you.
If Mars can terraforming, do you think you want to leave Mars?
Yes. Yes.
Thank you. Okay, let's give him a big hand.